you think her saying she's tired, you think you should still have the ability to override her telling you I'm not in the mood. If she gives you an
He
excuse,
asked.
an answer to sex, if her answer to you approaching her about sex and she's giving you an excuse, it's because she doesn't want to have sex. If she
No,
wants to
that's
have
not how
sex,
my wife
she'll
operates. My
say
You
wife
it.
know
is
his
very
wife
She'll
better
clear.
than
say,
him.
she'll say, I'm tired, but come on, baby, she's not gonna just say emphatically, I'm tired, or
Well, I
I
know
don't
my wife.
feel well, or I have a headache, or I'm sick, or she's
Hold on, is
going
you
to
fucking my
follow
wife?
it up with, I still want to do it. Why do you think like that's your opportunity to still overrode what she just told you? She just told you she's tired or she's not in the mood. And why can't you just accept that? Why do you think that you should come in and override that? The
Hold on.
only
First of
thing that
all,
should
Oh
happen
No
wait,
after
listening
that is a
skills.
can I
No
can I
conversation.
listening
chime
skills
in?
whatsoever. He literally said he would
DJ,
ask her
DJ,
for
wait,
consent.
Clout,
Like no listening skills. But go ahead.
DJ,
DJ, you
Clout,
exposing your relationship.
DJ. I think it's two different ideologies when it comes to relationships. Um, I know Mistaken is been pretty quiet, and I've been sitting here quietly as well. But I think when you choose to get married, there's a certain back and forth and an interaction that you have with your husband when you make those vows, when you go into that covenant, that it's a back and forth, it's a give and take of what's going on, whether it's sex, whether it's money, whether it's the kids, whether it's career, whether it's no matter what it is. Like sex isn't any different from I'm going to school, so I'm gonna hold it down right now, and I'm holding down the house while you work, or you do. Like every single thing is a give and take to make sure both people are covered. And I think if you don't have that ideology or mindset with going into a marriage, then maybe you just don't agree with what marriage is. I think y'all are both trying to talk certain ideologies, but y'all have different ideologies. You and
No,
Darwin
I'm not.
are not on the same page. I
I'm
think
not
most married
suggesting
women,
that.
but I feel like most married women, and I speak for myself, he's not saying anything that's egregious. He's not saying anything that's out of
For
order.
you,
He's
Hmm.
not most I have a ton of married friends. I
so
have
do
friends
I.
that have been married over 10, 15, 20
So do
years. So
I.
I the women I know and the men that I know that they're with have the same ideology of what Darwin in some of those lines that he's saying. I don't think he's saying anything that's like uncanny or like out of
That's fine.
bounds.
I think when two people get married, they should agree on certain things, and that's definitely one of them. You don't get to override me saying, um, I'm not in the mood tonight. I'm not
He
I
never
don't
comfortable.
said
think
that
he
though. He
over yeah, I
never
don't think he
mentioned
He
overrode.
overriding
said,
I
anything.
no,
don't
He
he
think
said
said,
he
he
would
wait a
over
ask.
second.
Clout,
No, 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 no,
clout,
no. Because
clout. Just allow them two
what
to
was
talk about.
what was
I
said, and what I'm speaking to anyway
mhm.
is when he said, when I said, okay, if she says she doesn't want to have sex in that moment, what are
Mhm.
you going to do? And he says in turn, I'll consider it, as if you have control, like as if you can override what she just said. What
No,
I'm saying is, if
okay.
she says she doesn't want to have sex, sure, y'all can have a conversation, but you don't have the last say as it pertains to her body.
No,
She
I
has
think
the
he said
last say
he's
in
he's
that.
gonna consider it as far as listening to her and what her emotions and her feelings are on not having sex. That's what he's considering, and considering being
Oh, okay, if he
considerate
meant it like that, okay.
considerate of her feelings and considerate of what she's saying, and consider and actually actively listening to what
Okay.
she's saying in the moment and being like, okay, I'm not gonna catch your attitude. But then at the same time, as a wife, how many times are you gonna do that and think that that's gonna be okay, and
Let
think
me
that
be
there's not
clear.
gonna be a problem?
As a
Or
husband, how many
yeah,
times are you not going to communicate and get to the root of the issue of why it's happening? My problem is we're always starting the
but
story in the middle and we never go to the beginning.
He
She's
literally
denying
mentioned
sex.
communicating.
Why is
Hold
she
on. Just allow
denying
them two
sex?
to finish, you
She's
guys.
initiating divorce. Why is she initiating divorce? Nobody's asking the whys. Nobody's actually talking to this human.
I,
Talk.
I understand. I
Ask
understand what you're
He
saying, DJ.
questions.
literally
But where, but people get married and have miscommunications and have like breaks in situations. It could be a couple month situations. It could be a year. Like Darwin said, it could be a medical reason. It could be a whole bunch of reasons, right? You have kids. There's different things that's going on with your menstrual cycle, with your body. There's so many things that go on within a marriage and within two people. So there may be a time where y'all aren't doing it as often as you were before, or it may be a time where you're like, wait, we were doing it this much, or it's definitely not where it was, or it's ebbs and flows, and you have to be able to communicate within those times. I don't think that is a rush to judgment of divorce. I don't think that that's like, so it doesn't necessarily have to be some huge, we need to go to therapy problem. It could literally just be some stuff going on with each of us individually that we have to work through and work through within the marriage. So that's
no, I'm not
let me
saying
be
it
clear,
goes to
DJ.
divorce. I'm just saying that people like to talk about things starting in the middle, but nobody's actually inquiring. Okay, she don't want to have sex. Oh, well, you obligated to you, my wife. Instead of saying, okay, well, what's going on? Are we good? Is it something I'm doing? A conversation. The same thing with the this is separate. I'm not saying that the two are together. I'm saying same thing with the conversation with women are initiating divorce. No one's asking why. Nobody's looking up the reasons why. I know the reasons why because I've been looking it up and looking into the reasons. But nobody's asking why. Everybody's just like, she's divorcing, she's saying no, and it's just like, this is your obligation, this is your responsibility, but y'all are not asking the questions that need to be asked. This is a human being. She's not a robot. She's not
Let me be clear.
obligated to just give you sex. I'm obligated, I'm wife, I must give you sex. It doesn't work like that.
DJ, you got a lot of talk for somebody who has a lot of questions. You can literally get the answer to your question before you get to paragraph 100 or whatever the. It's a lot of
I
you.
don't recall asking you a question.
Well, okay, okay.
I was
So
definitive about what I said.
you're unclear on a lot of the terms that or a lot of the things the context of what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to clear that up for you from saving your tonsils. So like literally the conversation about sex, my wife would never say that I don't want to have sex with you. That doesn't happen in my marriage. It's either I can't or I'm tired, and I'm tired. I don't feel like it because I'm tired. It's never, my wife would never say I don't want to have sex with you. My
I
wife
was speaking to the
always,
general, not just to you, Darren. Not
oh,
just to
I
you.
can't speak for everybody else because everybody else don't stand on the same thing as me, and they don't get married off of the same sort of, I think Casey said, ideology or whatever way you want to put it. It's not a matter of I don't want to have sex with you. Otherwise, you should never marry me if you ever feel like you was gonna ever approach any situation where you didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Now that's serious. I can see if you were tired. Then there's been occasions where my wife has been tired. She was carrying one in her stomach, and we had a 1-year-old, and she was getting up to deal with that, and she was tired. She still wanted to have sex, but she was just too tired. She wanted to perform. So I consider those situations. I'm like, all right, look, tomorrow you had a whole day where you can go just sit back and watch whatever you want to watch, and I'm gonna make sure you eat and everything, and I'm gonna take care of the kid. That way you ain't tired. And it is gonna be me and you. She was happy to have that conversation. So I think whenever you're trying to project a lot of situations and experiences you had.
I'm not projecting anything. Don't speak for me.
That, but what I was gonna say,
You
kind
can
of
sit
like
here and speak for me, but I can't.